Hi, everybody. This is Sarah Hobson. I am here with Amanda Cary. She is one of our grantees who just recently purchased her first home in Mesa, Arizona. Did I say that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, great. And she's been working with Roger Fizette, an Embrace loan officer. And Amanda, we just wanted to learn your home buyer story and how you found out about the grant, our Wider Path Home Foundation grant, and what it was like to have that added into your housing journey and how that helped you, but also just what your process was. So, Amanda, where were you living before?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, huge change.
Yes, yes, very, very large change. It was really nice to get the extra money to help with that change.
Oh, I bet. So, okay, so you were in Fort Wayne, Indiana. What made you look at Arizona, at Mesa, Arizona, to move there?
It was beautiful. It was warm. It's so cold in the Midwest, so I
Yeah.
wanted to get away from that.
Okay, awesome. And did you know Mesa, or were you just kind of looking for housing in lots of different areas and kind of honed in on Mesa?
I was looking for housing in the Scottsdale area of
Okay.
Arizona. I really like that one, but it was a little too expensive for me. So I decided to go with Mesa because it is just south of it and it's a little cheaper.
Okay. Okay, great. So what was it like for you to think about home ownership? Was that something that you always wanted? Is that something that your family taught you? Is that something that was new for you? What made you orient towards home ownership?
It's something that I've always wanted. My family really wanted me to have home ownership. I also work in the mortgage industry as well. I'm an Embrace employee, so that was kind of a good step for me.
What do you do in the mortgage industry?
I'm a mortgage underwriter.
Oh, neat. So you're familiar with home ownership and you have
Yes, yeah.
been tracking with other home buyers.
Yes, yes, I have.
Okay. So as you were starting down the path to home ownership, or what were some of the challenges, or how did you go about learning home ownership?
Some of the biggest challenges were really right now the market, the lack of homes, and just how expensive they are. First time home buyers really don't have many choices right now. They can't really afford anything that's very nice. That was one of my biggest challenges, just trying to find an area that was great, that I could afford.
Mhm.
Very difficult. And dealing with the cash buyers as well. That was really challenging. I was being outbid constantly.
Mhm. What were you looking for in terms of a community and in terms of the kind of lifestyle that you want to have and why you chose Arizona?
I just wanted something that was going to be safe, something that was warm, in a larger city. I really like big cities, and I was out in Fort Wayne, Indiana, so there wasn't much to do. So I wanted to find a place that was big, safe, and relatively just beautiful, great weather.
Yep. Do you like a sort of a city that has activity centers that have, bars and restaurants and schools and everything at your fingertips, or do you like a little bit more rural, or what's your preference on all those things?
I'm a little more artsy, so I lived really close to Chicago, and I wanted to find a city that was similar to that, that would be more affordable. And being by Phoenix is allows me to do that. There are lots of museums, lots of botanical gardens, and things like that that I can go to on a
Mhm.
regular basis.
Yeah, so cool. So, okay, so what was it like for you to learn the homeownership process? So you're an underwriter, so you had a chance to kind of, help us understand a little bit of what you learned as an underwriter, but then also just for you going down the path of homeownership, what was that like for you to learn what it was going to take to get into a home, to stay in a home, to maintain a home, all those things?
Yeah, it was rather shocking right now. I've been an underwriter for about 3 years, and I got to see the market during COVID and how many first time homebuyers we were able to place at that time versus now, where it's a fraction of
Mhm.
the amount. It's just so difficult even to get into a home. And then insurance has went through the roof, and maintenance fees, um, building equipment. So if you need something fixed, it's even worse right now. It's so difficult and it's really scary. Um, I was thinking about maybe right now is not the time. I was throwing that idea around. I thought during COVID, it was too expensive, but interest rates were really low. But I decided not to buy because I thought the market was going to go down, and then it never did. And then I was kind of thinking about, well, do I buy now? Would I at least know what the market's like? Or do I gamble again and see if it's going to be better in 6 months to a year? And I decided that now was the right time to buy, and I would rather deal with the monster that I know instead of the one that could be in the future.
That makes a lot of sense when you've watched the trajectory of the market and
Yeah.
not seen it come back down. So what were some of, like, how many houses did you put offers in, for example, on, or how hard was it to find a house within your price range? Or, how long did it take you to hone in on a house?
I was lucky. It didn't take me too long, a couple of months.
Mhm,
I only put 2 offers in. My
mhm,
second one was accepted, and it was only accepted because the loan officer I had was fantastic, and he personally called the seller and reassured him about Embrace, how long we'd been around, and everything like that. They were a little concerned because they had 7 other offers, some of them were cash. My company gave me an appraisal cert, so they certified the value of the home, so it would go for that amount no matter what, even if it came in low. Um, and then my loan officer reassured them about the company. So they did end up going with me, which was great, but I had to beat 7 other people. Some of them were cash. It was really difficult. It took them a few days to get back to me.
were you able to find in your price range?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, a little bit below my price range, which was great.
So Arizona came through on that front.
Yes, it did.
Had you thought about any other states or any other areas and then kind of taken them off your list because of the price range? Or
I was considering New Mexico. I thought it was really beautiful there. It was a little colder, and some of the areas, the divide between middle class was greater. The nice areas were really, really nice, but the bad areas were a little worse. So I decided with Arizona, it just felt like a better fit for me.
so is it more of a mixed income, mixed community?
Um, the area that I'm in
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
um, I think so. Yeah. I think the area that I'm in, I think is the majority is a little of the older demographic.
Mhm.
But I'm by a couple of colleges, ASU and Mesa Community. So there's a
Mhm.
lot of younger people as well, and a much larger demographic of races in the area as well, which is really nice compared to Indiana.
And is it a mixed design on the houses? Like, are there single family apartments, condos, townhomes, or
So my area is mostly townhomes and condos, which is nice.
huh?
But there are single family houses in other parts of the city.
Gotcha. And did you purchase a single family or a condo or a townhome?
A townhouse. It was nicer for me, so I didn't have to maintain the outside grounds. And
Yeah.
there was a blanket insurance policy, which helped me with pricing.
Okay, so that's so wonderful. So, and then how long have you been in your home?
I have not moved in just yet. I just closed the end of the end of August, and I'm actually having it cleaned today
Uh-huh.
so that I can get my furniture in it next week.
Okay, and are you still in Fort Wayne? Or are you in Arizona right now?
No, I'm in Arizona. I just moved last week. So I just got here on Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
I took that whole week off of work. It was a long drive with my dog. Um, I'm getting it cleaned today. This weekend buying furniture, should have it in next week, picking up my router this afternoon as well.
Oh my gosh, you have so much to do. Thank you so much for your time. I'm so
Yeah,
grateful.
no problem.
So what would you say, like, what do you think this home, like right now? I know you're not quite in your home just yet, but what does this home mean to you? I'm assuming you're in your 20s.
Yeah. I mean, it means a lot to me. It means that I'm now starting to build my own wealth, which
Mm,
is great. I have some type of tangible asset in case something bad could possibly happen. I have security. Now I always have a place to stay. Um, it just means a lot. It means it feels like an accomplishment. I
Mhm.
know a lot of people my age, especially on their own, can't get a home, and it feels really great that I was able to get one, especially with your guys' help. It means so much.
Would you have been able to get this home without the grant?
I would have, but I wouldn't have been able to move or furnish it. I would have been living in an empty house by myself, and I would have been pretty stressed out because I wouldn't have had any money in case something were to go wrong, which would have inevitably happened without extra money. It always does, no matter what.
No, a home is a huge purchase. There's so much that goes into it. So that's so wonderful. And then what would you say to other home buyers? Um, like, oh, you know what? I want to ask you this question. Do you kind of feel different about yourself now that you own a home? Like, does it shift anything in your identity or in your mindset about kind of who you are, what you could do, that kind of thing?
As silly as it sounds, I feel like a real adult owning a house.
Mhm.
I feel more mature. I know it doesn't change anything, but it makes me feel like more of an adult, a little more mature, a
I
little more
totally,
proud of myself.
yep, a little more rooted.
Hmm.
Yep. Are you excited to plug into your new community and to get involved and figure out the lay of the land in Arizona and build
Yeah.
a new life, a very rooted, permanent life there?
Yes, yes, that'll be fantastic. I can't wait.
And then what would you say to other home buyers? Anybody who might be in your same shoes in their 20s? I mean, it's young to buy a home in many ways. And what would you say to others? What do you recommend, or what would you say to encourage them, or about just what you've learned?
I would say that it's possible to buy a home in your 20s. It takes patience right now. You're going to hear no, unfortunately, but there's always going to be a better place out there for you. You might find a home that you think is perfect for you, and you might get a no, but you'll find a better one in a few weeks or a few months. It takes patience. It takes, yeah, it just takes patience right now. Um, I think that would be my best advice. Just be patient. You'll find one. It's hard right now, but you can.
Yeah. Were you experiencing high rents?
I was actually lucky enough that I was staying with my dad at the time.
Okay, got it. So you were able to save a little bit while you were staying with
Mhm.
your dad. Uh-huh.
Yep.
But I think there's a lot of people out there who are experiencing those high rents, and it sounds to me like you would say that homeownership is doable.
Yes, yes. So it's really high. I know rents are really high. Before I stayed with my dad, right before COVID, I know my rent was getting really expensive. It had went up 250, $300 in less than 2 years of me living at the apartment, and it was just a studio.
Is that what prompted you to move back in with your dad?
I moved to Florida for a little bit, and then when that didn't work out, when I didn't really like that area, I moved back in with my dad while I was trying to wait for housing prices to go down with COVID. And when they didn't, I had to figure out kind of a game plan then.
That's so cool, though. That's so cool. So I think a lot of people would relate to your story, and that they would, find hope that it is possible young to purchase a home. We definitely do want to encourage others out there who are in their 20s and experiencing big cities and high price values for homes and high interest rates and everything else that's coming with the housing industry, that it really can happen. And we do have a grant. We give up to $10,000 of down payment assistance. There's no payback. It's totally forgivable, and it's yours for life. So it can help you get into homeownership. And we especially target African American populations. So if you need access to more funding, just let us know. Again, I am Sarah Hobson. I'm with Wider Path Home Foundation, and this was Amanda Cary, hailing from Arizona, where she is about to move into her first home as a 20-something. And she worked with Roger Frizette at Embrace Home Loans and was able, through his help and support, to beat out 7 other home buyers who had, some of whom had cash offers to get into her first house. And Amanda, we're just so excited that for you, congratulations. We'd love to follow your journey and to hear how it goes. And we're on your team and excited and just grateful for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm so grateful for the grant.
Oh, it's our pleasure.